Hello, everyone. This is me, and today we are going to begin our next series that is the Geography chapter number one. And we are beginning with the chapter number one, but Geography class 8 NCRT. I'm going to cover all the chapters present in this book, whether it is cut in the syllabus, in the new syllabus of CBSE or not. But yes, I'm going to cover all the chapters, and we are beginning with the chapter number one. So if you have any kind of doubt or any kind of suggestion, doubt, anything related to this video, please mention in the comment section. I'll definitely answer. So let's begin with the very first topic of this chapter, that is the resources. Okay, so we know that in NCERT all the chapters of social science begin with a story, right? So this chapter also begins with a story, but this is not actually a story. But yeah, here are the children asking their mother that what are resources, and their mother is telling them what are actually resources and different examples of resources and whatever, right? So let's begin the topic. So the very first term comes in this chapter, that is the resources. The chapter, what is the meaning of this term? The resources, right? What do you mean by this term resources? So basically, resources are anything that can be used. That can be used. It can be anything from a tiny sharpener or eraser to a car or a building. It can be a resource. A toothpaste is a resource. A toothbrush is a resource. The things that you may consider useless, they are also a resource, right? So, like the things that we give to the kabadiwalas, though those things are later developed, they are later developed and then they are again usable. So, they are also the resources. Okay. So, resources is anything that has usability, and this usability, what do you mean by usability? Means something that has the ability to be used. Okay, anything that can be used is a resource, right? So usability also means utility. Okay, so usability, the other synonym for usability is utility. Here it is mentioned in your book with the blue ink, right? So anything that has the utility, that substance is a resource. Okay, that is what we call resource. Now the term next thing comes in this chapter is value. That how does something become a resource? How a thing can be considered a resource? How can I tell that this thing is a resource? So yes, we have first aspect, that is that the thing is used by us or not, but the other aspect is that the value, that does this thing has any value, does this thing has any worth. Okay, so by saying worth, by saying value, the first thought that stuck to your mind, that is the monetary value, like 200 rupees or some monetary value, some economic value or worth of that substance, right? So yes, maximum of the substances have economic value, have monetary values, and on those values they are differentiated. For example, if we see a toothpaste, so that toothpaste is a resource, right? Is a resource. Now what's the value of that resource? The value is maybe around 200, 300, or 100, right? But if we go to a mobile phone, which is also a resource, the value of that mobile phone, the monetary value will be around 1,000 or 10,000, 11,000, something like that, right? So value means simply worth, nothing more than that. Now, it is telling that a few resources have economic values, but a few do not. Okay, so those a few which I'm telling about are, for example, beautiful landscapes, from where we can say see beautiful scenes, beautiful visions, and landscapes we can enjoy. Generally, family picnics are usually, we go to some blank spaces where we just enjoy our time, and it is all between nature. So yes, we go to such places, we go to hill stations to enjoy the view, to enjoy the nature around us, right? So that is why beautiful landscapes, or these are also a resource, may they do not have monetary value. Okay, now here comes that everything, if I ask you that what will be the definition of resource, then anything that satisfy any substance that satisfy human needs is called a resource. That is the simplest definition of resource. Now comes the next thing, that what are the factors that can convert a substance into a resource? So the factors that can convert a substance into a resource are basically time and technology. So you know about technology, right? That we all know that anything, there are a lot of substances in our surroundings which are still a substance, not a resource, but as we input our technology, our ideas, our own knowledge, those substances become a resource, and that is what we call a good invention. Because if something can be used by us, that is a nice invention, right? So for example, if we take water, so we know that water is very usable for our body, our nutrition, our diet. But in spite of it, water has also other uses. We got to know about it by the use of technology, right? So by the use of technology, we got to know about it. As we know, for example, that we put technology, we had a knowledge, we converted water into hydroelectricity, which is a very good example to explain the factor of technology, right? Now comes time. How time can be a factor? So we might not be knowing about it. So time is basically why we are considering time as a factor. Is a very good example is mentioned in this paragraph of your chapter, that is about, it has explained about that the old good remedies, the old home remedies that were performed in our village areas in the earlier times, in the earliest times of India, the remedies which were performed after 50 years, 70 years gap. In the current situation, doctors are using those old remedies and selling those old remedies to the customers for their good health, right? So they are selling those, they are gaining some profit, they are gaining the value of those home remedies, got some value in the current present situation, right? But in the earliest times, they did not have any value, were not even considered a resource, they were just a way to get out of the diseases, nothing else was considered, they did not have any type of value. But now, in the current situations, they have been given some monetary value and they are being used by us. So that is how time is used. Now, it is a question here that are we human beings a resource? Yes, we are a resource. We are the most important, the very most essential, and the most important precious resource currently living on the earth. Okay, because we are those resources which can convert any substance into a resource. So we are the most important resources in the current time period. So that is what all in this topic was here. So the next topic is types of resources, which will be discussed in the next video of the playlist, chapter number 1. So go check onto the channel, or I'll also put it in the description box. So yes, have a look over that also. And if you have any kind of doubt, question, mention in the comment section, I'll answer to that ASAP. Thank you. Bye bye.